Welcome back, everybody. This is Mog once more, Mog Squad, playing some Kerbal Space Program with you folks again, and we, as you can see, are launching up the OMPL-1 once more. This time we've made a few quick changes. Instead of having a separate science module like we did with the one around Kerbin, I've added all the science instruments we currently have to this main house unit here, along with like 4 different freaking things of these, and a mech jeb, and protractor over here. Just so we have all that capability out at the MUN. We probably won't need it, probably won't use it all that much, but I want to make sure that we have it. And as far as crew goes today, we've got Commander Shepard, and this is his favorite launch vessel in the fleet. He's going to be piloting this mission for us today, along with Kerbonaut Sean, Kerbonaut Stanley, and in the crew hatch here on the mobile processing unit, we've got Kerbonaut Levi, who are going to be manning our crew today. We've got 1 additional spot in here for additional crew, and we're going to have more as soon as we get up the hitchhiker module. But for the meantime, why don't we get this thing underway, huh? So 3, 2, and 1, we've got liftoff. Okay, so we're cranking up. Once more, this is a fairly heavy unit. We're going to be bringing it up to a pretty high altitude before we start our main tilt over. In fact, well, I'm going to give it a shot. Well, I want to get at least over 200 before we start tilting, and making sure it's going to be a stable progression of speed, as opposed to hitting 200, dropping some tanks, and then losing some speed. That's not what I want. I want to make sure that we have some decent speed under our belt before anything happens, and I'm actually running those tanks out of fuel pretty darn quick if I keep that throttle up where it was. So I'm going to bring that back just a hair, let the solid rocket boosters do their thing, and get us up and about here. So I'm going to tilt just a hair, to make sure these solid rocket boosters don't come down on our wonderful command team back at KSP headquarters down there and smash up our launch pad. We need that thing. But these things are about to run out here as we get higher and higher up to about the 3K mark. So that's 3 kilometers for those keeping track. And we're at about 130 meters a second delta V currently at surface speed. And that's going to drop substantially once we kick off these first the only set of solid rocket boosters that we have. Now, you may also notice the changes that we've made don't include any sort of additional fuel or rockets on here at all. So I'm hoping that with the excessive fuel that we had with the first launch, I should have enough to get to the MUN and into a decent orbit. That's hope. This mission could go horribly wrong in true Kerbal Space Program fashion. I have not tested this. I haven't actually. I know I said last time that I wanted to test with that first one and see if I could do it getting out there to the MUN. I just didn't have the time. I probably did, but I want to get Assassin's Creed finished. And I figured it'd make for an interesting mission if I ended up screwing this thing up as we got close to the MUN and just, unfortunately, might end up killing everybody on this mission. Or leaving them stranded and flung out into space. And maybe we'll have to send a recovery mission after these guys once we get enough science. Thankfully, these Kerbals don't seem to need food or anything. So you guys are lucky. While you may die in real life from lack of food and or oxygen, won't happen here. You'll be stuck in a purgatory of floating death. Which I hope doesn't upset anybody. Anywho, whatever. We're at about 200 and we're climbing, so I'm going to start on our tilt at about 14,000 up. So that's 14 kilometers up, almost 15 kilometers now. And we're going to start our tilt. It's going to be a slow tilt, and we're not going to go down to the full 45 just yet, because we don't have the thrust-to-weight ratio. We just don't. So this is going to be a shallow tilt, just to get that speed built up for our orbital velocity. I am going to rotate us just a hair to get us onto a more naturally oriented progression. Well, why do I keep saying progression? I tend to say that a lot when I mean other things. You guys have probably noticed. We're gonna get it tilted over to a decent thing here, so we can actually get some blah 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 blah. I just said that. Ha 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 ha. Whatever. We're about to drop our second set of tanks here, and there they go. Kick those off. We're gonna not lose any speed. Awesome. That's cool by me. You know what I am gonna bring up with Mech Jeb? Our cockpit 1 view, so I can actually take a look at what our Apple is without having to switch out to map view. Also, I realize I can do it from here now too. Oh god, wrong button, not X. I wanted V. Switch up to one of these guys. Whew. Okay, let's keep our eye down here at our nav ball a bit. Rotate us a bit, and we are with our trajectory there down below the 45-degree mark. I want to make sure that that keeps going up. Our apoaps up here, the 56, is climbing, so we're not quite out of the atmosphere just yet with our projected like top level out bit. I want to get that up to around 90 to 100 before we get ready to actually do our burn. I want to make sure that we'll have enough there. What's our current altitude? Current altitude right there, 50, 70. Okay, so it's about 25 kilometers ahead of us. That's good. And it's climbing pretty rapidly, so why don't we tilt over a bit more, since I know that we're above our bit now. We can actually tilt and start pushing that out. Instead of pushing up height, we're going to be pushing out our periaps, or I guess it's more accurately described as building orbital velocity to actually get us a periaps, would be how to best explain it. Now, I know a lot of you guys that might play this game are probably like, why the heck are you even considering flying in this cockpit view? I really like flying in cockpit view when I have the proper instruments to do so. I think it's fun, I think it's a little more realistic, I really enjoy this type of simulation game in this type of a setting, so that's just me. But as you can see, our apoaps is about 96, almost to 100. I'm going to cut it at 100 and get ready to do our final burn. I'm going to set up our node and everything. So as we get to that point, cut those engines, 100 even. It's a decent arc. Why don't we go ahead and get this moving? Now, I know with some of the last videos, I've done some cutting, some editing with the video to keep them short. I might do a little bit of that with this. I hope you don't hold it against me. I like to do the full videos when they're quick, but like, if they're just dragging on, I feel like it's almost counterproductive to show the whole video, because they get so long. I know some of you guys don't mind it, but they become a pain to edit, they become a pain to upload, and a lot of people don't watch them. Now, I know that kind of sounds like catering, but I mean, I am doing this for me, I'm doing this for you guys as well. I do want to post videos that you guys enjoy, so I don't want to make them like terribly boring, and I don't want to have to ask you to skip ahead if you don't like the longer videos, just to try to catch something that you might enjoy, as opposed to maybe missing something you might have enjoyed. But you know what, whatever. We need about 40 seconds of burn. I'm going to start a bit early, because we got a decent amount of fuel in these tanks left, actually. So we'll see what happens here. I'm going to start the throttle right now. We're going to do this a bit early. That's fine. Not going to be a big deal. I'm going to... Oop, wrong button. I'm going to switch back, and I am going to go out here, just kind of keep an eye on things, check it out. I'm going to turn on our lights, though. Right, wrong button? There we go. Whew, I keep hitting wrong buttons. That could spell disaster in this type of a setting. Oop, 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 oop. Getting off a little kilter there. Okay. We are on course. Those tanks do look like they might burn out before this is finished. Well, actually... we might actually finish this burn before they run out. It'll be very close, and we won't have much fuel left in them. But, there it is. I'm going to turn this down. Oops, too much. 86 by 116. Meh, whatever. Good enough. I can even it out. I'm not even going to worry about evening it out. We're going to the mun. Who cares about that stuff? Let's target the mun in the meantime. Take a look. We're not that far off as far as inclination goes. Under 1%. That's going to be fine for me. And I think we're probably going to start seeing the mun right about after rotation's accounted for, maybe right about here. Push this out, and hey, look at that. It's asking for about 32 seconds, 841 delta V. This stage has not much. Where is our... I know I've set this up in the past. Did it hold on to it? Let's move that down. That's rendezvous stuff. Put that away. How about cockpit 3? Time to impact. That's landing stuff. Delta V stats. That's what I was really looking for. Oh yeah. We're good. We got fuel to spare. We have over 3,000 more, so if it only takes 800 to get out there and then a bit more to circularize us, I think we'll be more than set. Put that away. Let's leave that window up, shall we? And I'm going to find our node and then get ready to do this. So turn on some physical time warp, actually get this thing moving. How are we looking on electricity? We're fine. Okay, we're not running low on that. I don't need to deploy any sort of solar panels for the time being. We're cranking on up here. Oops. Right about there. I'm going to turn down physical time warp. Put us right on the dot here. Now it's going to take more delta V than that 32 because we'll be down to 1 engine. So what I'm going to do is actually shoot for about a minute worth of burn is what I'm going to go for. Give or take. So about T-minus 30 seconds is where I'm going to start the burn. It might be a little early, all things considered, but you know what? It's worth it to get an early jump on it. It gives you more time for corrections, and you're not playing catch-up the whole darn time. Oh, I'm speeding too fast. I wasn't paying attention. I didn't realize it was already down to about 4 minutes. Okay. Cranking on in there. 1 minute. And 30 seconds, give or take. Let's start that burn. Those engines are about to burn out. Boop. Oh, wait. There they go. Kick those off, and we're going to start on our trail like a rocket. Well, I guess not like a rocket. It is a rocket. Let's flip ourselves over, get us on the correct plane with our nav ball to make controls a bit more sensical. Oh, sorry about that. I don't know if you guys heard that noise. It may not have recorded it. I am also editing, well, saving a video that I just edited for Assassin's Creed 4. So yeah, that might give you a little insight into my recording process. I tend to, when I get the time, I stack recording, I stack editing, I stack encoding all together during the same time frame because I work a full-time job, and I've been doing overtime, like 50 hours a week. Not 50 hours of overtime, that would just be killer. I'd be making so much money, but I'd be so dead. But yeah, so there is our thing. Let's take a peek out here. That is a bit early. That's gonna be fine though. We have an encounter. Let's see if we can get a spot on here. What's that? 63? I'm gonna call that good. Let's ride this out and call that good. So if that's the case, we're gonna be coming out, it's gonna be passing under us, and then it's gonna pull us back around. I think we're gonna be orbiting the wrong way. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. I guess we'll find out. Let's get this time warp going and actually get out there. Oh, I'm not focused. There we go. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna do a little bit of a correction before anything here. I'm gonna burn us a little north to help level out our orientation. So let's put ourselves right on this, right on the 0 degree north. And as you can see, that's leveling out. Boom! That's better. I think I overcorrected a hair, but still well a bit more within the parameters than we were before. I'm going to switch over to the south and do the same, I think. It'll just take a hair. I'm going to go... Well, never mind. I was going to say I was going to go into precision mode, but I don't think it really helps too much with throttle. There we go. That looks much better. Okay, so we're on a pretty darn even plane with the too fast with the mun. Oh, and there it is. So is it gonna whip us back around? I think it is. I think it's just gonna grab us and pull us. So we'll be on a correct orbital plane too, I think, if I'm not mistaken. It's so hard to read these charts sometimes. This map view chart. I call it a chart. It's not really a chart. No, we are on the wrong direction, right? We're orbiting incorrectly. So, to correct for that at this point, we can just basically burn to the other side. Oops, wrong way. Do that. What's that gonna take? 187. We have more than enough to spare. Why don't we do... Oop, not speed up. We apparently want to slow down to bring that periapse out. 172. I want to put us in like a 250 orbit, give or take. 242, 249, that looks good to me. Now let's find that node. It's asking for about 41 seconds worth of burn. We are about 9 minutes beforehand, so we have enough time to do this with no problem. So let's get moving. Are we out of electricity? We are out of electricity. That's why it's going so slow. Okay, well let's take a moment. We're going to kick out some of these solar panels and actually get us some charge. Kick those, and we'll kick these ones out too, since these are the sun-facing ones. And that should begin our charge, I hope. Right? Where's the sun? Oh, it's hidden, you bastards. Okay. You know what? Does this generate electricity, this engine? I think so. That's what that means, right? 0.2. That's how much it'll generate with something or other. I have no idea. Okay. You know what I am going to do? No, I don't want to do that. I was going to say I was going to ignite the engines a little bit. But I think the sun's not going to poke out in time. Let's do it. Let's generate us some electricity, see if we can find that nav ball. We're just a hair, we're at the first notch. Throttle, that is. Okay, spinning around the equator on our nav ball. I don't see the... There it is. Okay, we're gonna cut throttle. Use a little time warp trick. That's gonna be fine. Okay, it's asking for 12 seconds worth of burn time at this point after pulling the engines. Let's see if we can move this just a hair. Can we? Not much. Whatever. We're just gonna time warp up to the burn time. 4, 3, 2, 1, and I'm gonna go ahead and do it right here. Full throttle. We are burning away. There's that. Now let's watch this. Pushing out that periaps to there. That's a little more, but that's fine. Not a big deal. That'll get us on the correct orientation, spinning this way. This way. I think that's right. I hope that's right. It should be right. Now let's set up our capture burn, and we'll be pretty much home free for this mission. The next mission, we're going to be doing something similar that we did last week. We're going to be setting up the hitchhiker module. Shouldn't have much trouble getting out here either. 271, 250, that's fine. That's going to be good enough for a capture burn. Okay, and there's our node right there. We have some electric charge. We'll be able to move over here. Oh, I did that with the things exposed. Did I break anything? All 6 are still there. Okay, that's cool. Oh, no. SAS, don't fight me. Don't go back to what you're supposed to be doing. Turn off SAS, stop fighting. Okay. Move that over. Right there. Time warp, we're an hour out. We need about 12 seconds of burn, so let's turn up the time warp pretty fast. And we'll be watching that countdown. Whee! Coming on in. We should be very close to the mun now. There it is. There's our good old buddy, the mun. I'm going to put away these panels for now, just for safety. It tends to be like if you're going really fast, you don't even really have to hit things, or at least maybe that was a bug from a previous build, but you could break these. I just always assumed it was from, you know, dangling out there on the edge while the thrusters are pushing right up the center. It just stretches them and breaks them. Then again, there's not much to fight against them out here, so maybe that's not the case. Maybe it is just, you know, a fragment of badness in the physics code or something. Dude, I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, let's speed this on up. 12 seconds is all we need, so T-minus 6. I'm gonna go T-minus 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rockets engage! Okay, pushing that out. Let's take a peek. We're gonna watch as this comes on in. And cool. We have our orbit, guys. So why don't we go ahead, kick off that, since we have way more than enough fuel. I'm gonna push ourselves away from that a bit, throw that out there. I'm gonna do a little spinsies, as I'd like to call them, spinsies. And we're gonna fling this other engine part off and get ready for the hitchhiker guide, or hitchhiker's guide. Wow. The hitchhiker module to come dock with us. So let's get some speed here, and bloop. That should fling that nice and away. And we are sitting pretty. We've got our lights on. We've got was it 1? I don't think that's gonna work. I'm gonna save. I've had that crap blow these things apart. Action keys, that is. 1. Okay, 1 does deploy all of our bits and pieces. 2 does our satellites. Cool. 3 do anything? Okay, I don't see anything that 3 does. Cool. So we are set up around the mun. We have our orbital processing lab here, and we are pretty much ready to make this a full working station at this point. We've got the ability to process experiments. That's the word I was looking for. Experiments up here for ships that come back from the lunar surface. So it would be cool if we could actually get a fueling array out here too, and get a small lander that we could launch from this to do orbital stuff and send it back to Kerbin. I think would be cool. That's kind of what I'm going to be shooting for, I do believe. In the meantime, why don't we put... How about Stan? You are going to go join Levi in the mobile processing unit. Whoa, 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 whoa. We're losing it. We're losing it. We're losing it. Stabilize, stabilize, stabilize. I don't like this. I don't like this. Away with that. Auto. Is Auto gonna work for me? You gonna be my friend, Auto? Please, for the love of God, just center yourself in my screen properly. I can't do anything. Okay, that's a bit better. Oh God! Jesus! Whew. Whew. We almost broke some panels there. I do not like the camera on EVA sometimes. Holy crap. Okay, we are good. We're good. We can get him in there, no problem. No problem. Just grab the ladder. And cool, he is on board. We have enough people in here to run experiments, process them further while actually out here. Let's observe some stuff here. 75 science, wow, okay. The high radiation environment caused a few of the samples to glow. It looks like it would have been fun to paint the rocket with this. I'm sure it would. Plus 10% transmit value. Inoperable after transmitting. Does that mean what I think it means? Like, that just doesn't work anymore? That seems like what it means, how it's worded. Maybe it's this experiment's inoperable. We can't run the experiment again after transmitting. If we could recover the vessel, we would get 75. Since that's not the case, we'll get about 30% of that, which is not great. Really not that great. Okay, let's give it a shot. Just to see what happens here. This is new to me. This is the first time I've actually done any sort of bit where we're actually using the analysis lab. 52. It's cranking along. How is our electricity holding up for this? Oh, it's fine. We're getting enough from solar. 90%. 100%. So we get 22.5. So 30% transmit value. As opposed to the 75. That's unfortunate that it's like that. Let's keep that data. Let's review the data. We can't reprocess, can we? Process lab data? Not really. Fine. Let's, I guess let's transmit it. We'll render this module inoperable. Why? Why? I don't understand. So we can't use that ever again? Is it what? What? I'm so confused by this. In the meantime, we're just gonna keep it. Screw it. You know what? Whatever. Okay, well, why don't we go ahead and rename this the Lunar, oops, I got cap locks on, Lunar OMPL 1. It is a station, and it's going to be doing our thing out here above the surface of the Mun. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Come back tomorrow, and we'll be setting up the Hitchhiker's module, I do believe, getting it docked up in here and getting some more crew out here. Above and beyond that, we're going to be planning to bring out some more stuff for dropping down to the surface. Probably a rover soon enough when we get enough science. We don't really have any of the wheels just yet. We have the standard landing gear, but that's about it. Above and beyond that, we're going to be getting a lander out here to do some science runs down to the surface and back up to the station. So until then, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and we will see you next time. Cheers.